Strength training. Why would you want to do it? When I say strength training, it conjures up different pictures for different people. Many of us think of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Recently, there's been a commercial out by State Farm Insurance that features Hans and Franz, and I'm not sure why. In case you're not a fan of Saturday Night Live, Hans and Franz was a skit from the late 80s that starred Kevin Nealon and Dana Carvey. They dressed up in their gray sweat outfits that were padded, and they made fun of Arnold Schwarzenegger. They thought it was really funny until one day Arnold was a guest on the show. It is funny, and I can't imitate them, so if you don't know who I mean, I'd encourage you to look it up. But that's what many of us think of, the brawn with no brains bodybuilders. Or in the case of women, a masculine looking muscle bound woman doing a fitness contest. And most women want nothing to do with that, which is understandable. Let's see if I can change your mind. I found this quote: "We are in a vehicle that carries our consciousness for this lifetime, and we want to optimize it." End quote. Muscles use it or lose it. Even 90-year-olds can gain muscle and have benefits from strength training. It turns out that muscle mass is a measure of health. It's actually one of our endocrine organs. And that's one of the reasons that increasing muscle mass is so good at reducing symptoms of diabetes. It also results in increase in energy, better balance, coordination and flexibility, and gives you more stability as you get older. There are emotional benefits to strength training. When you get stronger physically, it helps you to feel better able to handle situations in your life and feel more positive about life. Strength workouts also decrease stress and create endorphins. When you set goals for weight training, it helps people lose the diet mentality. The combination with eating nutrient-dense foods and strength training and the right amount of recovery, you can build a strong, healthy body, as opposed to trying to starve yourself thin, which results in less muscle, and that slows down your metabolism. So what kind of workout are we talking about? There are a bunch of different ways to do resistance training. You can use resistance bands, free weights, gym machines, or body weight. You want to tire the muscle by doing 8 to 12 repetitions with the weight for each muscle group. And we would usually do biceps, triceps, quads, hamstrings, calves, I missed shoulders, and upper and lower back. We would usually do this 2 or 3 times a week and leave a day in between for recovery. If you're doing one set with free weights, you can do that in about 10 minutes. Now machines would take a little longer because you're driving to the gym, changing your clothes, wiping down the machines in between, but it's still a good way to get started. It's really just a matter of preference. And it's always a good idea to be taught how to do the exercise correctly so that you're not doing yourself any harm. I know women's magazines come out with articles all the time that you can actually just use soup cans at home for strength training. But soup cans weigh less than a pound and they're very easy to drop on your feet. Dumbbells are inexpensive. As you make progress, your trainer can have you do more sets, maybe some different combinations, but basically you're going to systematically strengthen each muscle group. Let me show you why with a picture. This picture is my drawing that represents a slide. Let's see if I can get it better. By Jamie Scott in a talk called The Underappreciated Role of Muscle. And you can find that on YouTube. If you can see, this is supposed to be a cross-section of a thigh, and that's of a 40-year-old athlete. Okay, so there's a lot of muscle there and only a little bit of fat around the edge. The middle one represents the cross-section of a thigh of a 70-year-old athlete. It looks almost the same. And the other one is the cross-section of a thigh of a sedentary person. So you can see there's a lot more fat and a lot less muscle. And you can put all the cellulite cream you want on this, and it's still going to be lumpy. So that's not going to help you. What you want to do is increase the muscle mass, and that would be by doing your leg press machines or your squats and lunges. Jamie says what causes muscle loss then is not necessarily aging, but lack of physical activity and sometimes too low protein intake. It's very common that people injure themselves in middle age and quit working out. Research, though, into different hormones and growth factors shows that increasing muscle mass and keeping strong also correlates with the maintenance of brain tissue. So you don't want to stop working out at any age. You want to work around that injury, get physical therapy, whatever it takes. And I've already mentioned better blood sugar control because the muscle is active tissue. More muscle mass reduces the symptoms of metabolic syndrome. Bones flex when you train them, so new bone is added, decreasing osteoporosis and decreasing frailty. There's also research that shows that strength training and the increase in muscle causes genes to actually revert to a more youthful level. So with strength training, you're also going to be younger. Let's talk about some of the myths. My least favorite, no pain, no gain. Do you have to get sore in order to get the most out of your strength training? No, it's a myth. Now, if you're trying to get in shape to wear a special outfit for an occasion coming up pretty quickly, you may get sore trying to do that. But then you could also just go buy some shapewear and a flattering outfit. But if you're trying to incorporate a plan to maintain the muscle for the rest of your life, it's okay to tire the muscle without working out to the point of soreness. You can work out to muscle fatigue rather than muscle failure. And it's going to take a little longer. It's a slower process, but you're going to feel better. You're going to feel good. You want to feel like you've done something, but you don't want to have pain. And finding that spot can take a little bit of practice. Other myths: women, you will not look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't have the testosterone. Let me show you my visual aids. This tennis ball represents a pound of muscle. That's about the size of a pound of muscle, where the grapefruit represents the size of a pound of fat. So clearly we want the leaner muscle. At some point, it's going to become less about not being bulky. Maybe when you reach 30 years old, 40, 50, or 60. At some age, you're going to realize that Sports Illustrated is not trying to call you to model on the cover of their swimsuit magazine. And it's going to become about being healthy and strong. It's much better to be able to play with your kids, your grandkids, or your dog, and not be a burden to your family because you're going to be more healthy and independent. Men, if you want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you're going to have to work very hard. You may have to take some banned substances depending on your genetics. Don't do that. But you can get strong and look healthy. And if you combine strength training with healthy eating and cardio exercise for your heart and lungs, you're going to reap amazing benefits.